Hey y'all, I apologize. It's been a long time since I posted. Felt like it was time to get back in the saddle. My puppy dog passed away right at the beginning of summertime, and that was pretty hard. Kind of took a lot of the wind out of my sails. And then me and the fam just had an absolutely crazy summer, and just been traveling around a lot and haven't had really a time to prioritize. I have not prioritized putting the time together for this video. So anyway, I have been playing regularly, except for this last week. I felt terrible. I barely even participated in the league. But in general, I think I've won every league except for one, two now technically, and figured it'd be time to kind of give some pointers after I've done some trial and error. So I'm going to do a playthrough today, kind of show you my techniques. One of the biggest things I think are the hardest qualifiers to hit are going to be pace and defense. So we'll talk a bit about those. I'll give some pointers on specific enemies that can really help you boost those scores. But other than that, I plan on making some more videos and getting back into regular posting. So I appreciate all you guys that have been subscribers that are still hanging in there. I hope you find this video helpful, and let's dig in. All right, before we start, I figured out a nice little trick. This might be old news to some of you, but and it's kind of a minor thing, but I was always kind of getting annoyed by getting hit by these little tangles. And what I figured out is you actually put these on first, cinch them up under the wristband, and then clip it in. And then more swings. So anyway, big thing here on the scores on Quell. Power and accuracy are fairly easy, at least for me, to get into the 19s to low 20,000s. I think my highest score there was about 26,000, and my typical play style is very fast paced. So what I found out is I actually really slow myself down on my approach to actually be able to hit the defense scores. Pace is still a little tricky. I have not mastered pace yet, and I think the biggest issue with pace is it has very little to do with the running, because if you do the auto run, which I recommend if you're trying to max out your score, auto run, lowest settings, and all the different settings will allow you to get a higher score on average. But the pace is not just the running, it's actually keeping your adrenaline active during the fights. So I think you get around 9 to 10,000 for the running default. Unless you absolutely suck at it and you're putting yourself at a higher setting. If you auto run, I think you default around 9 to 9,800 on the settings. So the big trick here is keeping your adrenaline active as much as possible. Now there is a piece of equipment you can get that will activate adrenaline when you're blocking. This can be really handy because there are times when you're going to spend more time blocking than you are going to be attacking, especially if you want to get your defense up. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go to settings. If you're trying to get a max score here, the easiest thing to do is go to your difficulty, and we're going to reduce all these to low. We're going to put running speed on low, and then quite frankly, auto run just makes your life a little easier. Okay. Now, so far, you'll see my highest Quell score is about 73,400. There has been somebody out there that's been doing significantly higher. Everybody thinks it's the dev team. Probably is. I don't know. Titan 5's highest rage level. Now, getting a higher Titan level is not actually the same as trying to maximize your Quell score. And I'll kind of go into that on another video, I think. So, you see on the leagues here, typically, I've won every league except for two. One of them I didn't really participate in, which was last week. I was traveling a lot, and then the time before that, somebody just absolutely stole my lunch money and just massacred my score by a lot. And that person hasn't played since then, and they hadn't played before then. So, anyway, so we're just going to go into a session here. I'll talk about general techniques, and you kind of watch this. This will be a longer video. Let's see back into that score. There we go. All right, so I don't actually have to run, but I like to because that's the point of the workout. auto run makes this a lot easier. I still have my jumps and ducks on. Alright, so here's a trick. I used to go for max damage. I don't really do that as much anymore because I end up killing the enemies faster than I need to. A big change in getting a max score is you actually just kind of have to slow things down a bit. You need to take on more hits from each fight. Okay. I don't think KO has anything to do with your Quell score either. So if you do die, don't worry about it. Some of my highest scores I've died 2 or 3 times on. Alright, so as usual, just take this guy out as fast as possible. You're not going to get any other points from this guy other than fast attacks and getting your adrenaline activated. So you see I just activated adrenaline. Okay. Same with this guy. Take them out as fast as possible. There's nothing else you can get for these guys. First session, nothing good. So, okay, your performance score has almost nothing to do with your Quell score. Okay, I want to kind of nerf my damage here. That's how I want to look at this. So I typically avoid Flamebringer. Here. Oh, child. Now there's one particular enemy I'm hoping to run into more of than anything else, and that is the Malthorn, who used to be one of my least favorite enemies, but when I found out they're probably the best way to boost your score, now I love them. Okay, here we go. Alright, so make sure your adrenaline's activated as soon as you can. I don't know if I have it or not. I'll have to check. Okay, there's adrenaline. Play this defensively. Now, for your power score, the big thing here is make sure all of your punches are fast punches. So try not to have a lot of slow ones. They will hurt your score. Big thing here, play defense, use your parries. If you're using your parries, you're not going to lose your adrenaline. The goal here is to take quite a few defensive hits. And for as best as I can figure, your defense score is actually based off of how many punches you defend against, not how many versus how many you stop or get hit by. So I did terrible on power on this one. Okay, with these guys, get a few hits in. They'll either close their shell, break the shell. Don't get too aggressive here. We want him alive. He's going to attack us. Don't let your adrenaline fall. So if he puts both shell parts up, get him as fast as you can. Just keep fast punches going in and you won't lose adrenaline. Didn't want to kill him that time. I would have got one more defensive skill in. Alright, this guy, same thing, attack as fast as possible. They do help your power scores. Which is nice. So getting a couple of them does help power scores. It's just not going to help with anything else. Okay. While your mana is filling, your punches do extra damage. He'll spell. Let's get that. Now, I've done some experimenting on this, and I really don't think collecting orbs has almost anything to do with your Quell score, just your rage score. They're two separate scores. Because I went around and I basically I did not try to get a single orb, and my Quell score was still relatively high. So I don't think these actually help anything other than your rage score. So if you're going for league scores, it's a little different than what you're going to focus on for maximizing your equipment levels. Okay, not as useful, but they can do some. I think you do get points for evasion as well, but evasion tends to lose adrenaline more. So you got to kind of finish them off as fast as possible, because if your evasions take too long, come on. If you hit them enough, you'll actually cancel them out of that spike before they get to it. Ideally, you can get 3 defenses out of each one of these dudes. Okay, kill them fast. I've not figured out how to not lose adrenaline on the crystals, which is annoying. Okay. Really fragile. I don't care at this point. So the most annoying enemies in this particular round are the plant guy that makes you jump and duck, and the assassin. Now I feel like the assassin, I figured out a bit since last time I played with this. It's actually relatively simple, but requires a lot of patience and timing. I still screw up a lot, so I'll show you what to do when you screw up with the assassin and he counters you. It actually leaves him open for a really nice counterattack of your own. Alright, these guys are also pretty handy. Just be ready for the spinning death attack. And the unblockables. Okay. Alright, this guy's annoying too, mostly because he affects your accuracy a lot. I just kind of hook. I don't actually really punch much. Otherwise it tends to register as a punch, which is kind of annoying. Ah! Not my best round, this guy. There we go. Alright, Thornlings are annoying. Oh, ooh, almost missed it. Wasn't paying attention. Really made me watch the thorns. Half the time they'll attract the thorns, sometimes they don't. Oh, delay. You can kind of tell if they're going to go low or high based on where they leave the arm. Okay. Okay. After all this playing, I'm still not a fan of attack spells. The exception of last week, I played 6 or 7 days a week, every week, basically since the game came out. But I was in Mexico with poor service, and then I was on a boat on a race where I didn't have time for a couple days, so sweatband. So you see my Titan score is not actually that high right now. Oh, that was too early. maybe do a separate video on how to maximize your Titan score. All right. Useless. See, lost adrenaline already, which is weird. Shouldn't have lost adrenaline there. There, adrenaline's back. Okay. What? Butchered that. Okay. These guys are tough. Alright, who's next? Alright, easy peasy. Not my best run. Come on, wake up, hit me. It's a delicate balance. You don't want to lose your adrenaline. Just kind of do a 1-2 once in a while. Keep it up. No way to keep that going. All right, assassin, here we go. Here's a trick. If you hit his guard, he's going to counter you really hard, but he leaves himself open in the center for a second, and I just completely butchered that fight, so don't use that as the best example. Undercut or uppercuts for me are fairly inconsistent as far as tracking on those guys, guards. Sometimes it takes it as a hook. It's very annoying. Let's go with heavy hitter. Okay. Alright. Full disclosure, I did do a session or two before this, so I'm not normally burning out quite this much in one day. But I wanted to test something before the video. Also, I have not seen any point differentiator on your Quell score for doing the extended fight. It will help your rage score, but it will not help your Quell score because your Quell score is based off of the total amount of fights you have and the times you get hit, the times you attack. So I've actually had worse scores in general after doing the extended, I'm gonna hit that, dang it. The extended play session. So, if you're going for rage or league scores, unless you already had a bad run and one more fight might help even it out, I would steer clear of it. I'll do another video, shows the difference in hard difficulty on your scoring. You just get less by default. Um, okay. Not useful. I hate these guys. So this has not been a good run for defense. Normally I want 3 or 4 mouthhorns to be able to maximize my score. Ah, wrong button. Ah, lost my adrenaline now. Back on, back on. Lost again. Why is that? It's strange. Okay, I should have a good power score this run. The best thing about getting a mouthhorn, the Shard Guardians, is it regenerates, so you can get 7 or 8 rounds on that guy of defense or more. All right, see the results. That was not my best round ever, though. But nice. You'll see I barely got Titan 4. I'm pretty sure if you win a league, you default get Titan 5 gear, which is cool if you don't already have it. Alright, they seem to even these out a little bit too. Alright, power should be around 20, actually around 20, pace around 9, defense 17. Okay, total score 68, 936. My highest defense I've managed to get is in the 20s. So between those, you get, you can obviously do the math here. That's how you get into the 70s. I have not figured out how to maximize my pace yet. When I do that, I'll be able to kind of compete with whoever it was that nailed it the other day. Run at target speed, keep adrenaline active to improve pace score. So it's really the adrenaline, and I'm working on that. No KOs. So let's go to my scoring real quick. So, not my best score. If I go to the league, you'll see this puts me in the 200,000 range. My average is in the upper 6s. I've had my highest score, I believe, was about 220-ish. So that was firing on all cylinders. If you have not seen Titan 5 gear, here's some of the examples of it. You got this piece here. Where's my 96s? So 96s, 94s, 98 right here. That's a good one. Some of the other pieces you can obviously see. Blazing sleeve. These are in our low 90s. I think I deleted a couple of the bigger ones that I had. Dang it. Yeah. And here you see I'm on Titan 5 on Essence. I only got Titan 4 on this round, so that's all I'm going to be able to access here. Right here, blocks blocks have a chance of instantly activate adrenaline. So I use this one because I need adrenaline more than I need damage right now. I think those are pretty much the big ones here. I mostly sell these. So anyway, hope that's helpful. That's how you get higher scores in the league. Figured it'd be good to share that. I have done some trial and error on this to figure out exactly what qualifies. And for defense, as best as I can figure, it's how many hits come at you that you block. So the more hits you take the block, or how many times you block basically in a session. I don't know what the qualifier is, but the more you block, the higher your score is. Now you could probably take advantage of that, and your power score and your pace score might go down. I don't know. I haven't really experimented with it too much because I get bored. The highest time I hit was 23, and it just dragged on and on and on a Shard Guardian Malthorn. So anyway, hope that helps. Glad to be back in the saddle. Look forward to more comments if you guys have any or anything else you'd like to see. But I am going to start posting regularly again, and I hope you all have a good one.